kids, and welcome to statistics, where we are still talking about our types of studies. And I want to talk with you a little bit about an experimental study. So here's one that's laid out for us. We have a 17-year-old student who's designed a science fair project with 72 mice, and they are randomly assigned to 3 different groups. One group gets hard rock music, the other group gets Mozart, and the third group, no music at all. That's our control group. So the mice in the first 2 groups were exposed to music 10 hours a day, 3 times a week, and all the groups were timed as they ran through a maze, so that they all had the same experiment as far as what we were testing, the time they were running through the maze. So an analysis showed that the 24 mice in the no music group averaged about a 5-minute improvement in their maze completion time because they were learning the maze, while the Mozart mice improved 8.5 minutes, and the hard rock mice actually got slower, an average of 4 times slower. So another interesting fact, the student had to start his experiment over because all the hard rock mice killed each other. None of the classical music mice did that. Okay, that is just a little good. Now describe the independent variable. It's called the treatment variable. So let's think about what was the treatment. The treatment was exposure to a specific type of music and it was for a specified time frame. So the treatment was getting the music. So that is going to be our independent variable. Your independent variable is your treatment variable. Now, the variable of interest, this is our dependent variable. In other words, once we apply the treatment, what are we looking for? Okay, and what we were looking for, the whole point of the experiment, is that we were timing the mice as they ran through a maze. So the time to complete the maze. This depends on this is our hypothesis. So which group would be considered our treatment group? Well, the treatment group is going to be the group that received the treatment variable. And that's going to be the 2 groups exposed to music. Meaning that our control group, they do not receive treatment, no treatment. Remember, the treatment was exposure to music, so this would be no exposure to music of any kind. All right, let's take a look at another study. Now a researcher wants to study the effects of the amount of time of physical exercise. We will look at physical exercise and academic grade point average. Okay, so the researcher found that students that exercised they also slept more. This was not part of what we were looking at. But they slept more as a part of their exhaustion from exercise, and therefore couldn't only attribute the increase in grade point average to their physical activity. So what was our treatment variable? Think about what are we treating, or what are we using as treatment? And this would be effects of the amount of time of physical exercise. Okay, now our dependent variable. What were we looking for here? As, our variable of interest, and thinking that, what are we placing as being dependent on the time of physical activity? And we were looking for their grade point average. So improvement in their GPA and statistics. All right, now the study does mention something about, the kids that exercised more, they also slept more, but we're not tracking their sleep. So we call this a confounding variable. It's unexpected. A lot of times it's kind of after the fact, and it adversely affects the relationship between the dependent and independent variable. So we might analyze things incorrectly. In other words, we can't really say that there is a correlation between this amount of time of physical exercise and improvement in GPA, because we have got this confounding variable of amount of sleep. It very well may be that the sleep is what is causing the improvement in GPA. So now, if we were thinking about this and we wanted to conduct the study in a different way, and we wanted to do an observational study about the effect of exercise and the physical exercise and the GPA, we could do maybe a survey, and we could look at of students who already exercise or don't exercise. Okay, so in this lesson we have looked at an experimental study. We've talked about independent and dependent variables with treatment groups and control groups, as well as confounding variables. I'm just thinking about a different way to approach it if we have something such as a confounding variable. All right, watch the next video for page 3 of the lesson. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.